Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So it's been a long time I made a video, right? So I was busy in several projects. I had to travel to different locations to work. So that's why I was not able to make any video. So now I have some time. So I came up with a new video. I hope you will like this video and you find it useful for your games. So this time I came up with a Priya JS module. So which is like Construct 3 is multiplayer module. So this KRS multiplayer module is already very effective. You don't need to use any third-party applications, but we are doing this just for learning, right? So we are going to use scripting, the scripting feature of Construct 3, and so we are going to build a very simple chat applications with Create.js. I'm sorry, Peer.js. So this is their website. So you can see the documentation. So we are going to check the documentation and develop the project. So let's take a look at how it works. Okay, so I'll create two windows. So let me reload. Okay, so as of now I created only for two peers. Okay, so let's start with simple projects. Okay, so when I opened the page, it will automatically create a uh, ID for us. So this is the connections. You can see a lot of the connections object here. As of now, we did not connect to anyone and destroyed, disconnected the ID. So this is your ID. So we are going to share it with the other peer so that we can connect. So if we this will open, will tell you if we have any connections open. Okay, so I'm printing the ID here and also same thing with this peer also. So for now, let's login. Login is nothing but a simple username, but we have already connected with peer server. Okay, so this is only to recognize the pass the usernames between each peer. So let's log in. So you can see I have printed the peer ID here. You can share it or you can copy it, and let me also log in here. Okay, so I can copy it. So whichever peer ID, whichever peer you want to connect with, you add the ID here. Okay, so in construct multiplayer, there is a option to auto join rooms, right? So here we'll need to add peer IDs. So if you are planning to have any specific private chats or private games, maybe this will be helpful to you. You can also use the construct 3 module to have a chart system. You can also find the example in construct 3 start page, right? Okay, all right, so let's connect. Okay, this is disconnected. Okay, let me reload. Okay, so okay, 1 minute. Let me relaunch the remote preview. I'm copying this one. All right. Okay, I'll add the usernames now again. Okay, let me copy this, paste it here, connect. Okay, now you can see chat screens. It's a very simple chat screens. Let me start with greetings. So you can see I have sent hey to next peer. I'll send hello. Okay, so this is very basically simple chat. So let's develop this one. Like I said, this is only for learning. So if you uh, don't want to use this module, that's fine. But the object of this video is to learn how to import third-party libraries and use it for your games. So we are reliant on plugins, right? So if you find some useful, um, SDK or library, you don't need someone to wait, someone to create a plugin for you. So you can directly import them into your game and you can use them, right? All right. So I'll say I'm leaving. Talk to you later. I'll send it. Okay. So I'll click leave. So once I left, both will come back to the home page. So here it says connection closed, you disconnected. So this is where I be disconnected, right? I clicked leave, so it disconnected, connection closed, and I passed the same to this peer, and they also got disconnected. Okay, let me close this. Okay, let's create a new project. PRJS chat. Let's have it in portrait. Create it. Okay, let's name this one as login. So I'm going to use very simple plain um, elements to create the layouts. So you can always design things on your own, right? So that's not important. Okay, so I'll create a text object. This is PRJS chat. Okay, so now we need one text input. I'll add one more text. Enter your username. Okay, so now here in the placeholder, let's say that I want to set a limit, like at least 5 characters they have added, or 6 characters they have to add, otherwise it will not accept. Okay, this will help us to have more unique usernames. Else if you allow one letter or two digits, 2 letters, you might find a lot of common usernames. But this is only if you use any online database. But for this example, it's not required. But this is like a habit. Need at least 6 characters, and we need a button. Okay, I'll call it as login. Okay, so the first layout is ready. Let's save this one. PRJS chat. Okay, so when the button is clicked, what I will do is I'll compare the length of the text input. If it is greater than or equal to 6, only then we are going to allow them. Okay, so I'll create one more ID, one more layout. I'll call it as connection maybe. Okay, if this is fine, we're going to send them to layout connection. Okay, let's create a global variable where we'll save the usernames. So my username will be whatever I enter here. Okay. Okay, let's run a simple test. So here my global variable in global variable username my is blank now. So I'll add my username now. It should show it here. Okay. All right. So now it should go to connection. Okay. So this is the connection screen. Connect with the peer. Let's call this way. Okay. 172. Okay. This is not important. Like setting these things are not important, but I have this habit of aligning them properly. But to be frank, it's not important thing unless you have a real project, right? So okay, so here what I will say is share your ID with the peer you want to connect. Okay, so we are going to add the ID here, something like some ID here. Okay, and we are going to give an option to share and copy so that it will be easy for people to share it. Otherwise, it's a very lengthy ID, so it's difficult to type or remember, right? So I'll add two options. One is share, the other one is clipboard. These two. Okay, so this is share, and this is copy. Okay, I'll add one more text here. It will say copied. So that is one way to connect with the peer, or what you can do is okay, so that is one way, or enter the ID of the peer you want to connect with. Okay, so either you share your ID with the peer, with the other guy, or you will add their ID below. Okay, and instead of login, let's say connect. Okay, fine. Okay, so far it's clear. So what we are doing, we are doing right now we are creating the layouts. The first one is the login so that you can share the username. Second one is the actual connect. So we're going to connect with the peer where you can have a private chat. And the third one would be the chat itself. I'll create a new layout with an event sheet called chat underscore chat. Okay, so here we need a text input. So let's create another one to have chat logs. Okay, so type we are going to set it to text area. So when you set it to text area, it will show you um, the text in properly, like with spaces, with next line, etc. Otherwise, it will look everything like in one line. So that we don't want. So let's have the text input to send the messages here. So this is where you're going to write the message. Type something, and this will be the message to button to send. This is send. This button is to leave. Okay, so let's add one more text here. Here we can show the username with whom we are chatting, right? All right, so we have created the layouts now. So the next step is to implement the peer.js. So this is the documentation. For any time, it's better you review the documentation. So where we, this is where we'll have the details, right? Okay. So the first, our IDs or anything will be stored in a object called peer, right? So initially we are going to start creating a new peer with an ID. So if you give an ID, it will consider that ID and assign that id to you, or else if you leave it blank it will create an id for you. So for now let's leave it blank. Okay, so this is the function where you have to use to create a connection with another peer. So peer.js also offers an option to have video calls, audio calls, but for now we are not going to look at that module. Maybe if you're interested, we can do another video later. So as of now, a lot of people are using Photon chat, right? So it is a little expensive for people who are developing games independently or very small studios, right? So you can use peer chat or maybe construct chat, which is very cost effective. And peer.on is the function where it listens to connection. So for example, I'm going to connect peer A and peer B. Peer A uses peer.connect to send a request to peer B, and peer B on peer.on. So with this function, it listens to if someone is sending a request, and if someone sends a request, and it will accept the connection. Okay, we are going to see this in detail later. I'm just trying to explain the documentation to you. And you can disconnect or reconnect or destroy in the sense will terminate all the connections of a peer. So peer id is where you get the peer id, and peer connections, you can see the status of the connection, like how many peers you are connected with. So if you are connected with like 4 or 5 peers, you can check that. So if you are implementing any group chat, this will be much helpful. Okay, so peer disconnected, peer destroyed, so these are also available in the peer object, you can access them. Okay, now data connection. So here you can see a function called dot send. So this is where we are going to send the messages. So this function also can be used in a multiplayer games, so where you can send the position of an object or some decision. If you're using tic-tac-toe, let's say the opponent has added x on cell 1. Okay, you can pass that to other peer, and you can update that on their screen. So for now we are going to use this to send messages. So close will let the other peer know that they have closed the connection. So peer A closes the connection, says that I want to leave, and they will leave. So peer B gets a notification like a trigger that A has left the connection. Okay, dot on will also listen to all the messages. So send will trigger a message from one peer, and dot on will listen to the messages. Okay, so media connection is where we can use audio calls or video calls. Okay, so that's all. So let's implement it in our game now. Alright, so instead of using script tab, I would like to download this one so that we can put it in our game. So save as peer.js.mini. Okay, I already have it. Okay, so now in the project I'm going to add it to the scripts. You can also add it to the files, but I want to add it to the script. Import script peer.js.min.js. All right, so as of now we have imported this one. Before using it, you will have to initialize that one. How do we do that? So before even starting the game, on run on startup, so here in this function we are going to initialize this one. Okay, runtime dot loads, sorry, assets dot load scripts. Okay, so this is how we are going to use it. Okay, now once we load the script, now we are going to create the peer id. So I will close this one. So the next step is to create a peer. So we'll do that before project start. Okay, so just before we get the project started, the peer id will be assigned to us. So we can also do it later, but I would like to do it now, even before the project is ready. So where peer equal to new peer. Okay, let's log it and see. Okay, peer is not defined. Okay, so peer is not defined. So okay, let's use await here. Let's run it again. Okay, why is this calendar coming up? Okay, fine. All right, so you can see I forgot to use await here. So await, let me load this first, and then we'll go to the next function. Before that I didn't use await, so all the functions, even this function loaded before this was initialized, right? Okay, now because this is loaded, I have the peer object ready. I am assigning it to the peer variable. Okay, now you can see I have an id, the connections. So as of now it's no connections are there. Okay, and the status is open is true. Okay, you can see all these items. All right, okay then, so now let's go with the connection. Okay, how do I connect with other peers? Okay, now let's use this step, peer dot open function. So this one will allow me to get peer id. So every peer object is assigned a random unique when it is created. Okay, let's use this. Let's run it again. Okay, my peer id is okay, fine. Let's do one thing, let's create one more. Okay, id my, it's up to you how do you want to name it, right? So Okay, so runtime dot global var dot id my is equal to the id. So now I have stored my id into construct variable so that I can use it wherever I want, right? All right. So now we have the id. We have created a new peer. We have the id now. Okay. No, next step is to connect with another peer. Okay. To start a connection, you have to use peer.connect, and to receive a connection, you have to use peer.on connection. Okay. Let's copy both. I'll add a comment here. Get your id. Receive connection. Okay, and this one is to send connection. So for receive I will put it here, but for send I want to put it in different script. So okay, this is for import for events. I'll call it as connect with peer. Okay, so this is where we are going to pass the id, and in connections when this button is clicked, okay, and when the text is connect and the text input, 1 minute, yeah, and the text input length of text input dot text is greater than, let's say, greater than 0, then we are going to call this function connect with peer. Okay, I hope you are able to follow. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments, or you can reach out to me on my Discord server. Okay, so we do not know what is the id here, right? So this id we are going to pass it from text input. Okay, so let's create one more variable. Let's call it as message. Okay, so I'll put the message to text input dot text, and here let's call the global variables dot message. Okay, so I will repeat. So what we are doing is as of now we are working on this one. Okay, so enter the peer id to connect. So once you know the peer id, you'll enter the peer id here, and you will connect, click the button connect. So when you click the button connect, I am saving it in the message variable, and I am passing the same with runtime global var of message. I am passing it to this function connect with peer id, sorry, connect with peer, and that message, this message will be the id, and I am passing it to the connect dot peer dot connect. Clear? Okay, all right. So this is sending, and peer dot connection, this is receiving. Okay, so once we receive a message, okay, so this function of conn, shortcut to connection, so there is another function here where to receive messages and to send messages. Okay, so let's complete this, the first one also. Here what we'll say at the start of the layout, okay, start of the layout, so text to, set text to, okay, so let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is my ID, right? Okay, this is fine now. So this one, let's modify it a little. So this one by default will be blank. When I click the button copy, this will copy the text, not text, yeah, text only. Your ID will be copied, and this text will say copied. Okay, and after a second we are going to set it to blank. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, not this one, this one. Okay, let's log in again. I'll copy it. Okay, this is copied, right? So you can see the ID is getting copied. Share also let's do. Okay, so if I click share, share text my ID. Let's connect on Peer.js chat, not chat, it's chat. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, fine, right? All right, so this is fine. Okay, login page is done, connection page is done. Now we need to work on the scripts. Okay, so connect with ID one. Okay, what next? Okay, so peer.connect. So let's start writing the script step by step. Uh, we'll parallelly test it so that to see how it works. Okay, so let me log in first. Okay, now let me copy it. I'll copy and paste it here. Okay, peer is not defined. So this is where I'm trying to connect with the peer, and here I don't receive any response. Okay, so for that we need to declare the peer as a global variable. So here what we are doing is where peer equal to new peer, right? So this what we need to do is we need to do global this dot peer. Why it is throwing an error? Okay. Okay, all right. So let me log in again, copy it, paste it here. Okay, looks like it is working, but we did not set any status, right? Okay, let me send a hello message. So when a connection is successful, we are going to send a hello message. At the same time, we are going to receive messages when the connection has established. What is going on? Okay, let me log in again. Let's copy this one, paste it here. Connections, let's look at okay, this one is connected, so I can see this one is connected. Even here I can see this one is connected. Okay, so these two are showing each other's peer IDs. Okay, so we know that it is connected now. All right, so now what we have to make sure is to send the messages now. So this one, um, Yeah. So peer on connection, receive messages, function, um, CONN on data received. So this should show the data. Then why it is not showing the data? It's okay. This should be within this one. Okay, let's check now. Okay, so we received hello, right? So now we can be sure that this is working. Alright, so when the connection is open, when I receive this message, I want to go to the chat screen. So even here, when the connection is open, I want to go to the chat screen. So we can use runtime. One moment. So except in main script, we don't have runtime available. So we need to do this. Go to layout, chat. Okay, so even here, once we receive the connection, let's go to the chat layout. And when we are using the runtime, we have to pass it here in the function from the event sheet. Otherwise, it won't work because runtime is only available in event sheet and main scripts. Okay, let's log in again. Let's copy it, paste it here. Okay, see now it goes to chat screen. Alright, so around 50% of setup is done. Let's complete the send messages. Okay, so before do that, what we are doing here, CO and a connection for shortcut, right? So we need this to be available uh, at all times. But here, this is only used in this function. But I want to create a new function. This is only for sending connection with the peer, right? So I want one more function to send message. Okay, I will use a message uh, object. I mean a variable. Okay, so in chat, okay, when text input, wait, when button clicked, and the button text is send, and text input, the length of text input is more than 0, then the text input set text self dot text new line. So I am using double lines here, and I will say u, which is u, and the next line. So here we are going to use the message as the text input. Okay, so let's set the value to message, and we'll put it in text input dot text. Okay, so now the message value has the text input, has the value from text input. Now it's runtime. I'm sorry, wait. Okay, so this is the message first. Now we'll have to add the script send message of runtime dot global variables dot message. Okay, so to send the message we are going to use this one, right? We'll get an error, I'll show you, but I'll also tell you why is the message. Okay, so let's reload and see how it works. What happened? Host disconnected. Okay, so let's copy this one, paste it again, let's connect. Okay, so I'll send a message, hello. Okay, now you can see there is an error. Let's send a message from here. Okay, this is also has a message, error message, right? So the reason is CONN is not defined. So here we already created the CONN here. We also have it here, right? So in two places we have it, but the problem is we can't use it in another function. So what we can do is let's create a global variable. Okay, so initially it will be null. So let's put this value in here. Oh, it is not pasting. Okay, similarly we'll do that here. Okay, now let's try again. Okay, hopefully it should work. Okay, you can see that it is showing the messages on the console. Similarly, let's do the same here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong text input. Wait. and the text input should be blank, and this should be only read only, so that no one can edit it. Okay, hi. Okay, received hi. Now again let's do this for here. Okay, so this one is not logging, but it is sending the message. But it is sending message, it's not logging. So what we need to do is we need to log it here. So this is the receive messages, right? So once we receive the message, we are consoling the data. So wait a minute, when we are doing that, I should see the message here, right? Okay, let's do step by step. So once I receive the data, I want to add it to my text input. So I'll create one more function, save message. So parameter would be message. This should be string. Okay, for now I'll put it as opponent. So this will add to the self text, add opponent and the message. So here I'll call the c3 underscore function. What is the function name? Save message, and I'll send the parameter as data. Okay, let's see. C3 function is not defined. Did I use the wrong names? I think C3 call function, I think. One moment. I think it's C3 call function. Wait, yeah, it's C3 call function. Okay, my mistake. Okay, so it says opponents, it triggers that, but it is not printing the message. So receive data. Okay, now I can see. I'm not sure why it did not work before. Okay, we shall further debug that later, but okay, it is only sending partial message. Okay, I can see the full message here, but it is printing only partial message here. Okay, let's fix this one first. Oh, my mistake, sorry. So here first we have to put the message to message. or else we don't need that. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, we don't need this one. Okay, let's try it again. I use the global variable instead of the function parameter. Okay, so okay, great. So one side is working from host to peer, it's working, but peer to host is not working. Okay, let's fix that. Let's also delete this one. We don't need this anymore. Okay, the problem is when we receive a communication, this one we have created on the peer side, right? Okay, this one was created on the peer side, but on host side it's not connected. So when someone has raised a connection, so for example, peer A has entered peer B's ID to connect. So peer A becomes host, peer B becomes peer. So now on the peer side, this function has already uh, run once, right? So now peer side is open to listen to any messages. So that's how we are receiving the messages. On the host side, we connected with the peer, but we were not open to connection. Like we are not ready to listen to any messages. So for that, we'll have to copy this code. Okay, send messages. This is not required anymore for us. So I'll put this here. Okay. So again, this would be global this dot connection. Okay, now it should work. Let's try again. Oh, it did not. Oh, sometimes why it is not showing. Okay, let's copy this, paste it here. Okay, so opponent says hello. Here we'll say hi. Okay, you see this? Now we received the message from the second peer. So now we'll have to put it uh, in our function. I mean in our text input. Okay, let's do the same here of what we have done before. Okay, so now we'll see the connection. We'll see the messages in the text input, so we don't need to check that again. So next what I want to do is I want to display the name here. Instead of opponent, I want to say the name, the username. Okay, so I have one workaround, but you might have a different idea. But what I want to do is instead of sending the data simple message, I want to include the username within the message. So I want to do something like this. So here will be the username with semicolon plus the message. So we are going to send this message along with the username. So that's my thought. Maybe if you have a different thought, you can let me know. So username we need to get from the global variable, right? So in the chat, let's include the runtime even in this function. So here instead of username, we'll send the actual username runtime dot global varies dot id my. So username of peer, id of peer, this is not required, but we'll save it. Okay, so when I click connect, we'll save the username of peer into the text input. Actually, this is not message, this should be username here. Okay. Okay, so in the chat, when I receive any message, I'm going to decode it here itself, where user name equal to data dot split of, and the actual message will be 1. So what's happening is when we have a username like this, so for example, we are going to send a message like this, hello Sudeep, and semicolon hello. So split is going to split by this semicolon, and this will, and it will be converted into an array. So the first one is you know the right array is 0 based index. So first one will be 0, the second one will be 1. So that's what we are doing here. Okay, so instead of data, let's put username comma message. So in the same message, one will be user name, the other one will be message. So here instead of opponent, we are going to have username, and here we are going to have message. Okay, so we need to do the same thing even in peer side, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, sometimes it is not coming, I don't know why. Okay, peer id is not ready. Okay, my mistake. Okay, so okay, now we can see it here. Same thing with this one also. Copy it, paste it here. Okay, hello. Oh, okay, this is showing id. Okay, this is sending id. Oh, my mistake. So not id, it should be user my. Okay, I'm sorry. So let's check the other one also. Let's see if it is at least pasting the data. Okay, it is pasting the data. Okay, then I think this should fix the issue. Okay, now again let's try. Okay, you see this? Sudeep says hello, then again I'll say hey. Okay, now it is working perfectly fine, right? Alright, you can see this message will be pasted, sent like this. If you have a better thoughts, you can modify it as per your requirement. Anyways, I'm going to put this project for you. You can use it. Okay, last one, this will be leave. Let's use leave function leave. Okay, so for this one, what we need to do, connection close. Where is it? Yeah, data connection dot close. So here instead of send we are going to do close. So here instead of send we are going to do close. Yeah, once a pair is closed, let's use this function. Let's put it here. Okay, so update the status or go to home screen on connection closed. Okay, so when the connection is closed, what I will say is I'll ask them to go to layout login. Okay, so let's test this one. This will only work for uh, the peer, not the host. I mean, whoever has triggered it. Okay, let's click leave. Um, it's not working. Okay, I'm sorry. I did not connect it. So when I click leave, so this should be leave function. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, let's try. This is not working again. It seems to be like correct. What I'm doing wrong. So I click leave. Let's again check it. Is the spelling correct? Okay, spelling is correct. Data connection close. Okay, let's check this one first. I have already clicked leave. When I click leave, this should be true. Disconnected should be true. Open should be false. Connections it is still showing this object. So what am I doing wrong? Yeah, even here we have the connection. Let's log something here to see if it is working fine. Okay. Okay, it is triggering, but it is not closing the connection. Okay, so for the first one we are using send. This one we are using. Now we are using close. Okay, let's use a different one. So peer call, peer on. So this will give us the status. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's use a different one. Let's use this one, peer dot destroy. Okay, so go global this dot peer dot destroy. So here, like we use the connection peer dot on, we are going to use peer dot destroy to leave and disconnect all the connections, right? Okay, let's click leave now. Okay, fine. This got disconnected. Now we need to put the status. Um, Instead of peer close, okay, peer on disconnected. Let's use this one. Okay, this is correct only. Okay, so this will be console.log. You have disconnected or else you have closed the connections. Okay, so we'll log it, and once this happens we need to update the host as well, right? So once the host um, when this happens we'll use this one. So we'll update the host that someone has left. So we'll have to do this for on the both sides. So data connection dot on close console.log. the chat is closed due to peer disconnected. As the peer disconnected, and we'll ask them to go to home screen. Runtime dot go to layout login. Okay, let's do the same here. Even in receive connection, we have to do that, right? Okay, I'm sorry, one moment. So yeah, okay. Okay, let's try now. Okay, let me click leave. Okay, great. The chat closed due to peer disconnected. You have closed the connections. Okay, let's try it on the host side now. Why it is not connecting? Okay, let me reload. Okay, now I'm exiting on the host side. Okay, great. Okay, so that's all about this tutorial. I can do quick recap. So first one, we have done a login screen. So if you want to skip the video, skip the recap, I can do so. This is only simple recap. So first we have created login screen where I can add username. Second one, I have created the connection screen, so where we can show the our ID and copy it or share it so that it will be easy for us to share it with the other person. And if you want to connect with other person, you need to add the peer ID. And chat, we used text input and set it to text area and also enabled read only. So where we'll see all the chat here. And I have also added a peer chat and all these things here just for show. And also I forgot to add one more thing in chat logs. Um, when you keep adding the text, you'll have to scroll up. So we have an option called auto scroll to bottom. Yes. Okay, let's use this one. So what happens when you keep adding text, you'll see a scroll bar, but it won't go automatically. So you have to use that. Okay, so the functionalities we used is PeerJS. First, we integrated the PeerJS library. We loaded that. Then we used the global variable to create a new peer where it creates a peer ID, and we stored it on our construct3 variable. And we have written a program to listen to open connection. So someone sends a connection, it will be connected automatically. And we are also receiving the data and splitting it into username and message and sending it to the construct3 function save message, where it adds to um, the text input. Whereas on the host side, when you are sending a message or getting a connecting with them, so we are using this function where we're using the connection for a global variable, and we are putting the open function where we can receive the messages and listen to if someone is has closed their session. Even the same on the peer side. So, and we have written a function where we can send a message that includes the username, and we have also written a function to leave so that it destroys the peer, and same will be updated on this connection with a close message. So on chat layout, we have added this send message function as well as leave function. All right, so that's all about this video. I hope you learn something new. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. If you want me to help you with your project, I'm available. I'm full-time freelancer, so I can help you with your projects. All right, so I'll see what video I can do in the next one. Maybe I'm thinking to do a multiplayer project using Peer.js. That is also purely for educational purposes, because Construct 3 multiplayer is already very effective um, multiplayer module. I have used it for many of my games and also for my client games, right? So this is only to see how to do scripting in Construct 3, how to integrate libraries, right? So in the next video, probably I don't know when I will do, just on my schedule. If I can do it, I'm thinking to do a multiplayer using Peer.js. All right, until then, take care. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.